Welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I want to talk about the RSI Perseus, some leaks for that amazing ship, and rumours, but also some plans for ship flight and quantum updates that are coming into the game, some dev responses for questions on those. The Perseus is one of my favourite ships. It has had some teasers and potential leaks over the last few weeks. So it was teased inside Star Citizen recently, but also at CitizenCon 2024 as a ship they were working on, and we know that they were working on a line of RSI vessels. It's pretty big. It's a patrol gunboat. It wants to brawl, it wants to fight. It has massive weapons. And let me give you a little bit of a blurb with it. While peaceful resolutions are preferable, the Perseus's colossal guns are certainly capable of more than just striking fear into the hearts of would-be interlopers. Once dubbed the Sub-Cap Slayers, the 4 massive size 7 cannons attached to the manually operated turrets spell big trouble for big ships. With fringe expansion, the ongoing Vandal war resulting in loosened security at high traffic jump points, there's never been a better time for militias and localized law enforcement to up their firepower. The Perseus does this in spades. So, please take some of the following Perseus rumours with a pinch of salt, but they look quite plausible. So originally the ship was supposed to be a heavy gunship, and I believe it's still retaining this role. It's sort of approaching the size of a Corvette, originally supposed to be like 100 metres in length. I heard some rumours myself saying that this had actually grown a little bit. This often happens during development, but we will have to wait and see. Originally intended for blockade duty and engagements against sub-capital ships, the Perseus is outfitted with 4 massive size 7 cannons. So it's got basically 2 on each of its massive manual top and bottom turrets. This is supported by 2 smaller, or was supported by 2 smaller, size 3 remote turrets, which are now rumoured to be size 4 remote turrets. And it also has a bay of 20 size 5 torpedoes. The other big thing with the rumours here are PDCs, point defence cannons. So these are basically automatic defence systems. So 4 of these PDC turrets are potentially going to be added to the ship, which would hugely aid in its ability to be a frontliner, brawler, and deal with smaller ships more easily, because really it wants to be either in a static position, preventing something from getting past it, or just heading towards a target that it wants to deal with as quickly as possible. At least that's the way I see it operating, right? Last we heard, the ship had at least 50 SU of cargo space, but again, this might have expanded. It was suitable for a crew of 6 and had large size 3 components for everything, as well as having 2 shields and 2 power plants, but it's basically singles of everything else. It was being referred to as an RSI gunboat internally for a while. It's going to have a torpedo bay, cargo bay, with external elevator and room for a vehicle, crew and captain's quarters, as well as a sort of mess/recreation hall, along with the sort of things that you'd expect: escape pods, a docking collar. I believe the last time the Perseus was on sale was for around $675 as well. I would expect this to go up once it is actually released to live and flyable. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of the ship, and I'm expecting it to be available in-game later this year, potentially at Fleet Week in May, but that's very much my speculation and hope. Really interested to know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for the Perseus? Is it a ship that you've already purchased on concept, or that you might want to get in-game? Remember, when these ships are released live in about 3 months afterwards, you'll be able to get them in in-game shops as well. But it'll be pretty expensive. It's a pretty big ship, as I said, approaching Corvette size. There were some Spectrum threads and questions on Spectrum that I saw answered by CIG devs about sort of quantum travel and flight model plans, stuff like that, so I do want to talk about that here. During the Taking Flight panel at CitizenCon 2953, the team showed off a genuinely cool atmospheric flight model with stalling and AFCS. Sadly, none of the work has made it into the game so far, which leads me to wonder, is this something that is still planned, or something that's been scrapped? If it's still planned, can we get an update on the status? YogiClat responded to this. What we've shown at CitizenCon 2953 was the so-called control surface model. This is not an isolated feature, but part of a much larger update to the flight model, which is currently ongoing. 2024 wasn't really a focus year for the flight model, but we started getting back to it directly after the Xmas break. Progress on the flight model in the last 2 months has been really good. I am really excited about it, but it's just not ready for the public or even public testing. We will announce things for this when we're ready. So yes, this stuff is still coming. There was a follow-up question. When it is ready, would it likely be bundled with the quantum boost and the improved quantum experience? So again, the response here, the current plan is yes. Without the new quantum experience, the flight model changes actually wouldn't go down well outside of Arena Commander. Do the flight model updates enable controlled descents while in Atmo if you get disabled, provided enough control surfaces survived the beating? Uncontrolled dives have been a curse for a long time now since we don't have parachutes or jetpacks, very low survival rates. Again, there was a response. If it's just the thrusters that are failing you, you can glide, assuming the ship currently generates enough lift. The question is more if the flight computer, IFC-S core, is online or not. If it's offline, no command would move the control surfaces, so you would still glide because the aerodynamics are still calculated, but you couldn't affect the path. If the flight computer is online, you can control your ship even without thrusters being online. Landing will be pretty hard though, but probably not impossible. I'll make a note to discuss that specific use case internally as well. I'll find it quite interesting to be able to move the control surfaces without power, but might not fit the law as those fins are really large and potentially too heavy to move them with backup cables. He also responded to a question basically saying the Gladius model used in the CitizenCon 2023 flight model had movable flaps. He said the flap movement itself there is driven by control surface code, but it's really just an animation. It theoretically could be hooked up to the legacy aerodynamic systems. So yeah, CIG very much working on updating the flight model, both atmospheric flight model and the new quantum travel stuff. Also sort of making master modes less master modey, ironing those down, basically making them into operator modes. You'll actually be able to fire your weapons again, even when you've got your quantum drive powered. You will be losing your shields though. Be interesting to see how that all evolves in the future and what the current state of all of that is. And I suspect we will see it in the not too distant future. Some of this will be in testing for later this year for sure. Anyway, boom! That's it for your updates today about the quantum travel stuff, about the flight updates, and your rumors on the Perseus. Really excited to see the Perseus in game soon, hopefully. I'm hoping that CIG very much push it to try and be in game for Fleet Week. Yeah, that'd be great if it is. Obviously, it's ready if it's ready. It might not be. Monthly patches might help with stuff like this as well, with a focus on sort of getting these ships that don't require additional features in, but sort of help the content and expand the content that's in game already. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Also, one of the reasons to comment down below is because you're going to be in for a chance of winning a Misc Fortune that comes with some Red Festival skins, a game package, and lifetime insurance. Yeah, comment on any of my videos made during February to be in for a chance of winning that. Also, something that feels like winning, getting yourself some NordVPN. Links down below to that. It helps the channel, but also you can go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It has the same effect. Get yourself a VPN. It helps with your privacy, security, and accessibilities of your interwebs. If you want to further support the channel, there's the join button under my videos. There's Patreon, but just liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff helps loads. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.